Hi there, everybody, and welcome to this week's Writers Chat. And this is the place where writers meet together and we talk about all things about writing, for writers, and by writers. And we're really glad you're with us either here live. We got a lot of our regulars in the chat today, or if you're watching us by our replay, because we know a lot of you, that's the only time you can watch us is by replay. So we really appreciate this. It's such a neat, growing community here. My name is Jean Wise. I'm one of your co-hosts, and I'm joined today by Johnny Alexander, one of my other co-hosts, and Jann Martin. Jann's one of our behind-the-scenes guru that helps us all the time with Writers Chat. And we're going to turn it over to Jann right away to introduce today's topic and our special guests today. So, Jann, you're in charge, so take it away.
Thank you. It's nice to be here, guys, and want to share with you a new community that I'm a partner in. It's called Authors Community. I met Tom through LinkedIn, and he coached me on marketing and ended up buying into the company. And Tom gives out wonderful information. Our other partner is Gina Burgess. I don't know what she doesn't know how to do. She's amazing. So first I'd like to have Tom come up and talk just a little bit on how he started Authors Community and anything else he'd like to share about how we're growing. And then Gina has some things she'd like to share, and then I'll end it with our newest part of the company, eBook Christian.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
So.
Thanks, Jann. I'm Tom Blubaugh. I've been a writer since I was 14. I'm 76 now. So I've got a little bit of writing experience. But I wrote my first fiction when I was 69. That was back in 2009, 2011, somewhere around in there. And I was picked up by a small Christian publisher, and he had as hard a time getting my book in bookstores as I had at times getting companies to read my manuscript. And I kind of wondered what could be so hard about this, because I've been in marketing all my life, well, since I was 25, I guess. And so I came online with the idea of promoting my book and having a national bestseller. Well, 2011 was at the time that Amazon was turning the world upside down, and publishing industry started changing like crazy, still is. And what I found is just hundreds and hundreds of authors all trying to do the same thing that I wanted to do, but it seemed like nobody knew what they were doing. Words had come out like platform and social media, and publishing houses wanted you to have 1,000 followers on Facebook and things like that. And all of a sudden, authors found themselves in a position where they were really the marketer. And it's still that way now, and getting more so even as we go into the future. So I decided that I could take my marketing experience, my writing experience, and I could help a lot of authors get their books out there. And I have been used to charging a fee for my work. And I learned in financial planning over 25 years is there's no investment, there's no value. So I put what I thought was a reasonable price on what I had to offer. And I found out that after authors had their manuscript edited and proofread and tried to build a website and book covers and everything else, they didn't have any money for me. And so one Saturday morning about, Gina, 3 years ago, I woke up on Saturday morning and I just kind of said, God, I don't get it. These authors need help. I have help to give them. Money gets in the way. What's the answer? And a still small voice told me to start an authors community online.
Love it. Love it.
And I said, okay, no problem. Well, 3 years, 3 years into it, and with a team of 7 other people, I'm saying, Lord, you didn't tell me what was involved with this. But it's been great. We've had a lot of good things happen, a lot of rewards. We have about 700 authors involved.
Wow.
Wow, I don't know where to even start, but basically what we have started is a very safe place for authors to come to find out how to market, how to build a website, how to get their books out into the world, because we're all about getting the gospel into all the nations. And our scripture is, the Lord says that the gospel's got to go in every nation before Christ comes back. So we want to be a part of that. And that's what we're doing. That's about the best I can tell you right now.
That's great.
Gina, you want to tell a little bit about the website and the bundle?
Sure. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Please.
Yeah, that's fine. And please tell us a little bit about your background too. So
Okay.
hi.
Okay. I was 100 years old, and I have 4 grandchildren. But I won't go down that path. I know it's very hard and difficult not to, but I waited 6 years for those grandchildren, and I finally got them. God granted me with 2 in 1 year. I was just so excited.
We love grandkids here on Writer's Chat.
I've got about 30 years experience in sales and sales marketing and sales management. I've been a writer since the 4th grade. I loved writing short stories and that sort of thing. I loved reading. I've read hundreds of books. I've been a book reviewer, and when I started reviewing books, it was just Christian-oriented, Christian writers that I decided I would focus on, because I saw there was a lot of these Christian authors that got published, but their stories didn't quite mesh. There was a lot of different things that were needed to make the story really have oomph. And so when I got my master's, I focused on communication education so that I could start helping people learn how to edit authors. And that's what I started doing 5 years ago. Wait, it's been 6 years? It's 2013. So that's, then I met Tom. There was a Google Plus group years ago, and I met him through that and became in contact with him. And when he decided he was going to do Authors Community, he sent it out to all of his contacts. And I was like, wow, that's what I want. I want to be involved in that. And so I emailed him back and I said, count me in. And boy, it just ballooned after that. We just clicked really well as partners, and it was just wonderful. I don't even know what to call it. Camaraderie. That's a good word. That's a good word. And that's what we're trying to build at Authors Community.
We have a lot of fun together too.
Oh yeah. I'm so ornery. Okay. This is I got to get rid of that page.
Uh-oh. That's okay.
There we go. Okay. This is our current version. I find all kinds of wonderful little things to add to this, little plugins and stuff like that. And I wanted to talk briefly. I won't go very much longer, but this is stuff for everyone. And I want to talk briefly about our Real Stuff marketing or Real Stuff manuscript bundle. And my internet is slow today. Get your book ready to publish. What we offer in our thing is a manuscript assessment, editing, developmental copy editing, proofreading, formatting, marketing coaching for a full year, a complete website, a book cover, all of these wonderful things in one place. And all it depends on, the price, all it depends on is the number of words in your book, in your manuscript. And you can calculate your investment for the 76,000 words would be about $46.92. So you're looking at a truly great price for something that is needed by all authors. And we have a guideline for, we're not just strictly Christian, but we are family friendly. And that's the important thing for people to remember, that we want good, wholesome things. Now, the things like that we will not tolerate, things like erotica and stuff like that. But there are things that adults deal with all the time, and that are concerned from a social aspect that we will handle. I mean, it's not like we keep from publishing something about child abuse just because the subject is child abuse.
Right.
But nothing graphic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Are you doing nonfiction and fiction both?
Oh, yes, nonfiction and fiction. Yes.
But do you consider yourselves to be sort of an indie publishing company?
No,
No.
because the authors keep every penny of their royalties.
Okay.
All we do is get the manuscript ready to publish, and then we will coach them on how to publish, indie publish, or get the manuscript ready to go on the traditional publishing route. Now, you don't have to have your manuscript edited to go traditional manuscript, traditional publishing, but if you want to keep your voice, your author voice, because sometimes publishers will take your work and will turn it into something completely different, and that's after you sign the contract and you don't have control over that. So
Gina,
anyway,
can you screen share again and just let us see the front page and kind of tell us about what's all of
Sure.
in that front page too?
Sure.
I appreciate Jann putting the link in that. Okay, so this is your home page, right?
It's going to it. My
Okay,
internet.
Well, it's probably because you're doing video. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you just give us a quick overview of what's all here?
Authors Community is is the place that gives you the benefits of being an author, a member of Authors Community, subscriber. You can opt in or opt out. There's no contracts, and it's on a per month thing. Starter level is absolutely free, and you get a newsletter and access to our vendor team and the online community where you can network and share and get ideas and just build up a camaraderie with like-minded writers.
Okay.
The paid membership, you get all these things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ongoing coaching sessions of 30 minutes or more, plus the email. I mean, it's just tremendous value here. So you get to register now. And then we have blogs, a blog. And we take a blog post from our members only. It's wonderful to hear other people's ideas, thoughts, struggles, that sort of thing, because it gives you hope. You say, oh, well, if they survived it, I can survive it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's true. Cheryl Lynn wanted to know if you did just a full manuscript proposals, book proposals, or does it have to be a full-length manuscript?
No, we can do well, getting a proposal ready to send to a traditional publisher. Is that what she's?
Yes, and say like in nonfiction, it's not a full manuscript. It's usually 2 to 3 sample chapters. Do you look at that for marketing and maybe competitive and analysis and felt need?
Yes, we can do that. We don't have a price for that yet. Okay, so it would be on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
Yes, we would, and we'd help you mark. Now, we do not market to traditional publishers. Okay, that's not our job. Our job is we work for the author, not the publishers.
Okay. It sounds like basically you've got a lot of free resources and you got your blog, but then if somebody wants this service or membership, that they can take their fiction or nonfiction work and get it up to a publishable level in one spot.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And save a lot of money because they're not having to do it piecemeal.
Piecemeal, yeah, it's all that. The people that join membership, do they get a discount then on your manuscript makeover thing?
No, because it's discounted plenty already.
Okay. Okay.
The cheapest one that I could find that had all of this stuff included in it was up in the 15,000, 20,000 range.
Wow.
Okay, so you can see how much money they would save by going through us.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, you said book cover. What's your procedure there of helping someone design a book cover? And you guys have graphic artists on
Yes,
staff or what? Okay.
that's me.
Oh,
I told you, she does everything.
And you
Tina,
work,
can you tell them a little bit about our forum too?
Tom?
Yes.
Or Tom, Fellowship Forum?
Yeah, let me say one thing about the bundle. We kind of skip over it, but it says a complete website. We mean a complete website.
wait,
There are websites that authors have that's all I can say is that they're a website.
yeah,
But a website is your place in the universe
that's right.
that is you, and that's where you want people to come. And through that website, we want to help you to help them get to know you as an author. We want to help them get to know your protagonist, your antagonist, the characters in your book. We want them to have a true relationship with you because we know that's what sells books.
Yeah.
Because there are millions and millions of websites out there. But most authors, even if they do a good job of building a website, very few of them really understand SEO, the value of content, keywords, and all those kinds of things. And we have two excellent website designers. And I'm not a designer, but I set up a format of a website that I think authors must have to really have that place in the universe that attracts people. And that's included in this bundle. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but the last website I had built by a professional, I paid $3,000 for the website. Okay. And so when you think about getting a book completely ready, a manuscript completely ready, plus get the website, plus get the keyword searches and the genre searches and things to get the right keywords in that book on Amazon, wow. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer.
the question's going on in the chat room, so I think we ought to get it into the recording in case somebody doesn't get the chat, is about can they break out different services. And so Gina or Jann, I don't know if you want to respond to that here on the recording, like if somebody just wanted editing or just wanted a website or a website makeover, can they purchase those services? So
Yes, absolutely. In fact, that's exactly how we started out. We started out with for lack of a better word, a stable of vendors and editors and website builders and stuff like that. And it was not working as well as what we wanted it to because there was just too much variance in how much they charged. And we wanted everybody to get the best deal.
Yeah.
I hate using that word, but that's, in sales, that's it. But most bang for the buck. And so that's when we decided to go together. But yes, we do offer separate things for children's books, for adult fiction, for nonfiction, for children's fiction, for children's chapter books, all that different things. And Jann will get into a little bit more of that when she talks about EBC.
Okay. So Jann, let's move to you and let's hear your story, part of this.
Okay, as I said before, I met Tom through LinkedIn, and he said that I wasn't afraid to go reach out and research to figure out what he was telling me I had to do. And he asked if I could help with Authors Christian, and then eventually made an offer to let me buy into the company. And it's been a wonderful relationship. I really feel blessed by God to be able to be part of this community. Our meetings are really a lot of fun. And we love our authors, and we want to do whatever we can to be able to help them to succeed.
Absolutely.
And then I'll share my screen with you. Let's see, whoops. Hold on just a sec.
Takes a minute.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, that's my granddaughter. That's one of them. That's the oldest. Okay, this is ebook Christian's homepage on the website. This is where our readers can find books by all the different genres, and this is where our authors can submit their book to be advertised on the site. Up here we have the browse books. You can just click and see all of them, or you can pick your genre that you want to look at and just see those books right away, which is helpful.
Show them the thing, Jane.
Yeah, this is our different marketing.
wow.
This is how your book would show up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you really have dug kind of deeper into genres like political Christian fiction. I mean, that's not like a genre that we usually see, but that's pretty cool that you've done that, kind of dug deep into subgenres.
Yeah, Gina did a great job with this.
Yeah.
And this happens to be Gina's book. I'll click on that. Weep Not for the Dead. It gives a description of what the book looks like or is inside. It's available with Goodreads. You can click there to go see what conversation there's been, some of her reviews on her book.
Now, do you pull out the reviews to put on there?
Yes.
Kind of
I'm the one that posts all of the books on the site. I go to Amazon and I get the short links to be able to put so that authors aren't going crazy with a long link. We have our picture and a little bit about the author that we put on. You can leave a reply on what you think about the book.
Mm-hmm. Is this a site that's like public, so people can stumble across it without being a member?
Yes, it's ebookchristian.com.
Okay.
And I'll put it in the chat too when I get back to there.
Yeah.
We have another part called Book Content Ratings. This explains how we work. It's family friendly. These are the guidelines for the authors so they know what type of books we're accepting. We are Christian, and we want to make sure we have good, clean books available to the people that come to the site.
They're only ebooks, they're not print books, because it's with your title. They're just ebooks.
Gina, can we get paper?
We do paperback books too.
Yeah.
That we bought this website from a pastor who lives in Pennsylvania, and he had started up because there wasn't a good place for Christian writings to be advertised, and he named it Ebook Christian. We just kept the name.
Okay.
And we have a spot for testimonial, submission guidelines, extra stuff for the author. The different book review tips, submission, writing tips for authors, extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a column about us and explains a little bit about who we are. Excuse me, advertise your book. This goes into some of the benefits of advertising, some of the a little bit about the advertising that we do. We post on all the different medias. Our authors get post when I post their book. It goes. I do an media blast for them. If they want extra media out, they can pay another fee, and I will do 3 more blasts for them. I'll spread them out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is only $15.50 each.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have
So
any
it's
as far as
really not expensive to be able to get me, have me do that for them. And it goes out on like Facebook plus all of our groups that we're connected with, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. I go on Google Plus while we still have it. So it's out on most of the different sites so that, try to post as much as I can.
Jan, did you say now this is a fairly new venture, this specific one?
For us, it's newer. We bought it from a pastor. He just got to the point where it was growing too much and he couldn't handle it along with being a full-time pastor.
Oh, wow.
So we, Authors Community purchased it, and I shouldn't say we, Gina has completely overhauled the website. It's beautiful. It's much easier to navigate. And we do a 1-year advertising at a time. So they buy into it and they get all of this for a year. And at the end of their year, then their book comes down unless they pay to have it put back up on the site.
Wow.
So do you have an idea of your reach, like about how many people you're able to, who are either coming to the site or through your social media blast that you're reaching? Do you have any ideas about those numbers?
We're still at getting our analytics built up because it takes a long time for Google to actually give us good analytics. So we're still getting that built up, but we reach about 160,000 people in in all the different groups that we advertise in. That we post in.
Mm.
But also, here's another benefit of being a member, an author level member of Authors Community. You can advertise your book, all of your books, on ebook Christian, and that's a benefit. That's for free.
Wow.
So you don't
That comes with the membership. That comes with
the membership. So Cherry Lynn, send us your books. Let us know your list.
She did ask if you needed ISBN numbers.
Yes. Yes.
Because some people don't get those with ebooks if they only did ebooks, But
right, that's true. But
books do. Yeah.
ISBN or the AIN and the title of the book, and then we can draw the rest of it from there.
Got it.
Any questions on the site?
Wow. That is, it's a very rich site on that way.
We did have a question going back just a little bit. Let me see if I can find it. Do you contract people to perform services for your authors? Do you already have everybody set up? You still looking for people?
It's our team. We have everybody on our team. If we needed someone else, they would be an official part of our team. We don't hire out to, anybody else.
Okay.
Right. Now, we're not saying that we're not going to add any more people in. As our business grows, we will hire more people to come. Well, not really hire, but we will contract with people to come in. It's more of a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Our vendors are called vendor partners because they partner with us in this adventure.
Okay, it sounds like a one-stop for authors.
We hope so.
On that, that's kind of exciting in that way and stuff. So tell me again, and this might have gone back to something Tom said at the beginning, but how many authors are you helping?
We have a little under 700 authors.
Wow.
At this point. And this is a problem because I'm the marketing person. And I started doing one-on-one marketing. And it has gotten to the place where I don't have time to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a year that I am developing videos. And by the end of this year, I will have a 1 year long video training program on marketing.
Wow.
Wow, that's
And people may say there's not that much to marketing. Well, okay, there is. And I start out by telling people that if you hate marketing, it's because you don't understand it. And I've got a strategy that I can help them change their thinking, and then I go from there. Excuse me. One of the things that we haven't mentioned that I think is really important to get in here, Gina, is what we're doing with the homeschool.
Yes.
Oh, talk about that.
Gina, please.
No. Oh, okay. Your voice is getting low. Okay. We have started or ventured into the homeschool market, or we're putting our toes in the water. We're trying to get contacts built up. Tom wrote a magnificent book called Night of the Cossacks, and one of his contacts wrote lesson plans for it. And so we bought those lesson plans from her, incorporated them in her book, and now we're sending that book out to different places for homeschoolers, and to try to get contacts of where we can go to market these books. We'll have authors will have the opportunity to have lesson plans put in their books as long as they meet the qualifications that we're looking for educational purposes, fiction and nonfiction. And we're just really excited about it. But we're taking baby steps right now. Mm-hmm. Not because we can't take adult steps, but we just we're kind of feeling for the bottom of the pond, you know. We don't want any drop offs.
No, I get that. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, I'm curious with your three expertise on here. Something we've kind of talked on Writers Chat every year, the first of the year, is I call it back to basics. What are the basic three things as authors we should be doing? And then I also like to look at trends. What is that out there to stretch us to grow? And I'd be curious to have a little discussion with you three of if you had advice to those of us writers here, some basics that don't forget to do this. And okay, this is something that's coming. You better be aware of it and start learning about it. Just to get some input on that.
Good question.
Jann, do you have anything you want to say?
We're always looking for new things. We get updates. There's a couple of different men that we watch videos from that are marketing, and Steve Washer is one. Tom, what's the name of the other man that you send me the? You're muted. Tom, you're muted.
That's because, never mind. I can't remember his name, but he owns Social Media Examiner.
Right.
Oh,
Mike Ziltz. Ziltz.
Oh, okay.
And he has some great stuff on YouTube. But to answer that question, technical things or the way that we get the message out changes, but the message and the principles never do. And so what I tell authors is don't be infatuated by all the new gimmicks and everything. Stick to the principles, stick to the things that we know work. Now, social media is new on the internet, but I've been using social media for 50 years. And all it is meeting people, sharing with them, developing a relationship, giving them an opportunity to learn from you, you learn from them. And that's all social media is. It's been turned into a circus of people, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. That's not marketing. That's selling. And people don't like to be sold.
Right.
They do like to be convinced. It's like going into a store at the mall. They have signs overhead that tell you where the different products are. They have posters that tell you what's on sale. And they have 2 or 3 or 4 people to help you if you need assistance. You don't want them coming up to you every 5 minutes with a product and say, buy this, buy this. You wouldn't go back to that store. What you want to do is look around and be able to pick up the products, smell the perfume. And if you have a question, you can motion them over and ask your questions. That's social media. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's what social media is. And it takes a long time to do that. So most authors sell 350 books or less. And it's because they never get out of their comfort zone. By the time they get finished hounding their friends, their family, their neighbors, the people they work with, the people they go to church with, to the point that people say, I don't want to hear about your book anymore.
Yeah.
And then they're done. Everybody knows 300 to 350 people. But if you understand that we are not in competition, and if we understand that all the writers in the same genre that we're in are trying to do the same thing we're trying to do, and if we can develop a relationship with those authors, and we can leverage each other's 300 to 350 people,
Mm-hmm.
then you have exponential growth going.
Mm-hmm.
And 300 times 300 is what, 90,000 potential readers? So if I could say one thing that's the most important thing to an author, that's what marketing is all about. And that's what I do. But website's part of it. Potentially advertising's part of it. Social media's part of it. Blogs are part of it. Newsletters are part of it. Reviews are part of it. But there's no one magic bullet.
Right.
It's a lot of wisdom. A lot of wisdom here.
Absolutely.
Gina, you commented in the chat room about network, which I think is very wise too. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, unpack that a little bit?
Well, that's what Tom was going for. We're talking about how people are, authors, writers are not in competition with one another because you can't write enough books to satisfy all your fans, all year long. So you network with someone who is, or make friends, make nights with someone who writes similarly to you, same genre, that sort of thing. And then you each go about your own promoting, but then you connect, and then you've doubled your market base. And you connect with somebody else, and you've tripled your market base.
Yeah.
Connect with somebody else. And so then you don't take over their email list, which you need to really build up your email list, really, because they're starting to say, well, email is out. That's not true. Email is very, very important. And you don't inundate your fans with lots of stuff. But in my book about using the ripple effect, I talk about, I gathered a whole bunch of information from a lot of different social media things and put it all in one little place. It's only like 29, 30 pages, but it's a lot of meat. And when you share emails or have somebody, promote your book for you, then you have a whole new base to look forward to, a fresh market. And some people will sign up for your newsletter and some won't, but at least you're reaching out to people who are interested in what you're writing. And
does your group help do those connections?
Yes.
as they get to know each other? Is that how they do it, or do you?
That's what the forum is all about.
That's the
Forum
forum.
does it. Okay, I guess I didn't fully understand the forum. The forum is like a meeting place where
Right.
they share the info. Okay, and that's
We
part.
didn't really talk about the forum
Mm-mm.
because that's something we're still developing. We're on our second forum because the first format didn't work the way we hoped that it would. And now we have it as part of the website. But through that forum, you can ask questions directly to me. Through the forum is where we expect to pick up the needs of our authors, and we'll build our blog posts and our videos and newsletter and everything around those needs. And so that's kind of the pooling place. It's not a place where you try to sell your book, although we don't necessarily discourage that, but it's kind of singing to the choir. What I tell authors is, if you want all the other authors in the community to buy your book, then you need to expect to buy all the books of all the other authors in the community.
That's right. Yeah.
That's only fair. And if everybody's in there just screaming, buy my book, and
Right.
wasting a lot of activity, a lot of time. There's a question that was in the chat, if I can reach out there. Tina Yeager, our publicist, the expensive magic bullet we're looking for. Okay. Expensive, yes.
Mhm.
Magic, no. Bullet, possibly, because it might end your career. I'm not saying that don't use a publicist, because I know some excellent publicists, but they are very expensive.
Mhm.
But you have to ask yourself the question, am I trying to get my book into the community, or do I want to use my book as a business card to open up doors to speaking, seminars, ghostwriting, whatever? Because if you want to go beyond just publishing a book and having people read it, yeah, that's where you need to talk about the publicist. But some publicists, they might want $2,000 a month for a year to set you up with interviews and things like that. And so if authors couldn't afford me at $50 an hour, and they tell me that they want to publish this, I say, I don't get it. You haven't researched it. And so publicists are important, yes, but it depends on what you're trying to do.
I find a lot of writers often think of just getting that one book that's in their heart out, which is fine. But a lot of them I know in our community is thinking longer term, thinking career, thinking
Yes.
other opportunities down the line. And, if we're going to be in this for the long term, we got to think more than one book, for example,
Absolutely. Need to really think a minimum of 3.
Okay.
And I get this question too. I'm glad you mentioned that, about these free giveaways.
Yeah.
Okay, free giveaways are a great thing if you have other books out there,
Right,
that you can draw them to, that they buy. But if you've just got one book and you're giving it away free and you don't have anything else to offer them, you're just giving away free books. Doesn't make any sense.
In the long run, that makes sense on that way.
If you've got a good book and they read it, even if you do a mini book, say 3 chapters. Let's say that you've got a book that's got 30 chapters and you break it up into 5, 6 chapter books, mini books.
Mm-hmm.
And you release them all at one time and you give away one free. That makes a lot of sense, because if they like that one, then they're going to go looking for what else you have, and you're going to sell a lot of books. I know a author in Australia that did that, and he started selling 6,000 books a month
Oh my
off of that strategy that I just mentioned to you. But he did it all at once. And then when books started slowing down, then he put his books together in a bundle and sold a complete bundle and sold thousands more.
Wow.
But you gotta treat your writing like a business. You can't treat it like a hobby and play around with it and expect to do those kinds of things.
That's right. That's right. One, Joshua asked about or talked about building social media has been pretty straightforward, but understanding how to build that email list has been killing him. Okay. There are, in my book, there's a lot of suggestions, okay, on how to build your email list, but there's one important aspect that you really, I know getting that website is really hard, but you must have a website if you expect to sell books, because people are going to see you and find you there. And this is how you're going to build, not the main thing, but pretty much the main thing is how to build up your email list. You offer something for free, shout it out in social media, have them come back to your website address, and then if they want it for free, they got to give you their email address. And then now be careful of offering anything for free that's like major, because those folks are that sign up, probably about 50% to 60% of them are freebie junkies.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to buy your book.
Yeah, you think about all the things that you've gotten for free in the last 2 or 3 years, pens and things like that. How much value do you put on them? Do you really ever look at the name of the person on the pen and call them? Most of the time you don't. I'd like to address one other thing. Is it Sherry Lynn? Says $50 an hour is so inexpensive. The way I want to address that is that I don't charge $50 an hour now. You get me for $35 a month through the community.
Wow. Wow.
So
That's amazing.
just saying.
But not just him. You get me with publishing advice and things about, and Tom's the marketing, Jann's a very detailed person, and she is really good at proofreading, but she doesn't proofread for free. All right. I mean, she doesn't proofread for $35 a month. And neither do I edit for $35 a month. But I am there for anybody who has questions about publishing.
Wow, that is just amazing. Just amazing. And stuff. Jann, I have a quick question on your ebook Christian site. Just curious of how many genres do you have on there? You had some like Johnny pointed out, some really good ones. And is there a particular one that you see the most interest in, or wow, you'd really like to have a book in?
I'm not even sure how many. I haven't counted them all up. I know it's a huge list. I think there's a lot in romance.
Okay.
The newest one I put up was a man that's at a church and is teaching people how to do the sound system and how to get, I mean, we have an amazing array of genres.
Wow.
So it's just a wonderful group, and like Tom was talking, we need to support each other. We need to advertise for each other, because people don't want to just hear us. They want to know. They want to get to know us. They want to know what we like to read, what we like to eat. All those different things. They want to be our friends online, and it's really important to reach out to everybody. Like Tom said, we can't possibly write enough books for one genre to satisfy everybody. So why not work together and support each other, advertise for each other, so that we all can benefit and all can sell books.
Yeah, I love it that it's you guys match well writers chat. And when we say we're
Yeah.
by writers, for writers, and writer focused, and it really sounds like you are writers focused and stuff like that. I would think, Jann, running that website would give you real insight of people's desires, wants, needs, might give you some ideas as a writer.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a few books because I'm putting the books in the site. It's like, okay, I have to be careful and not buy too many.
Yeah.
You're the pusher to our addicts.
Totally.
You're the pusher to our addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have enough books on the shelf right now. I can't buy too many, but I can mark them and say, okay, when I'm done with these, then I can go buy some more.
There you go.
Can we open it up to questions?
Yes, it's a good time to do that. We've got about 6, 7
About
more
5
minutes.
minutes.
So,
Yeah. So come on back on, and you can ask questions.
if you need
Can I say
help,
one more
let us
thing?
know.
Gina, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, ebook Christian is a place where you can advertise, and your readers are not inundated with a bunch of other books that are just like yours.
Oh, good
Right.
point. Good point. Thank you.
And if you can't get back on, let us know. I'm trying to think who I can't remember who I took off. There was a couple of you guys that took your videos off. So I think we have to release you from video prison. So I don't know.
Jen had to leave, so she might.
That might have been the other one I took off. So on that way. So I'm going to go to the gallery view. What questions do you guys have asked? So I thought, oh, Renee, I hadn't seen Renee join us here. Yeah. So what questions you got in the few minutes that we've got left here? Hop on.
I just have a comment. I do have a book proposal business, and I studied all the pricing of how much editing, coaching, everything costs. And I have to say, your services are so inexpensive. Your value for what you get is phenomenal. I can't wait to refer my clients to you guys, because what you offer is awesome. I just have to say that. They didn't tell me to say that, but I did, because it's like some people charge $350 an hour to coach. And Tom, when you said $50, I was like, wow, that is awesome, Tom. I mean,
the thing is that this authors community is the first thing that I have ever done in my life, other than my salvation, that I can pass on when I'm gone. And it's my legacy. And I'm wholeheartedly in this. But the thing is that, do we need money to advertise and do what we do? Yes. And live? Yes, it's important. But it's not what drives us. What drives us is two things: helping authors and getting Christian literature into the world.
I love that. I love that. I thank you for what you offer. Seriously, I didn't know that existed. Thank you, Jann, for having them come on.
My pleasure.
One thing I'd like to say, because we've only got a short amount of time, if you want to take the chat afterwards and pull all the questions out of it and send it to Jann, we'll address those questions and get answers back to you.
Thank you.
We can put
And I thought to repeat the website again, Jann, why don't you repeat the website for both the author community and for your e-Christian? And then there was...
Tina's got a question.
Tina's got a question that she missed the beginning and wanted to know if the ebook Christian advertising was exclusively to the members, or can it be a separate? Is it only a member benefit?
Oh, no.
No.
No, it's just a benefit for members, but it's absolutely public. Any author can come in and advertise their books.
Okay.
It's $45 for a year. For a year.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
This is our starting price, okay? We've raised that price. When we first started out, it was $15.50, but now it's getting to the point where we've got a lot of authors and we've got a lot of reach, and so we've raised it up. So it's going to increase. So it's best to get in now, really.
Well, I'm going to start tweeting and your page, because that's
Thank you.
incredible. Authors need to know this exists. People are charging an arm and a leg and the firstborn baby to just get their book edited.
Yeah. eBook Christian is ebookchristian.com, and the other is authorscommunity.net.
And we've got enough babies.
Yeah. You don't need any more firstborn.
Barbara and I have 6 kids and 14 grandkids, and now we're looking at great grandkids.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
we've got
wonderful.
enough.
Anyone else have questions? We've got just another minute or two.
This has been great today, though. We really, I just, again, I'll repeat kind of what Sherilyn said. I think it's, you guys, you can tell you're mission oriented, and that's wonderful. And we do like to support that, promote that, and we appreciate you educating us today on that.
On our forum, we support our authors, tell them, we'll pray for them if they have prayer concerns, whether it's to do with writing or not. If they're struggling with something, we'll, send them back a message. How can we help you? It's like we're there to support them, not just take their money, do their work, and then go.
Yeah. I was curious about the results from your advertising. Do you have a good success story, or are the authors seeing more sales, or what would you say?
There's a testimonial section on our website. You can see where authors have written in and talked about the results and the responses that they have received from eBook Christian. Not exactly this particular website, because this has been revamped and we've expanded it a lot. So we're still building those stats.
Okay. That was what you said. You were just really getting your analytics done, but still,
Right.
For $5, you can't go wrong. I don't think
That's pretty expensive for a whole year's advertising, and that includes that social media blast too, right?
Right.
Yes.
Upfront
Yes.
social media blast. That's
Wow.
One, and you can purchase more.
right. The
Okay.
one.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay, still, yeah, it's a great thing on that. Okay, let's wrap things up, and then we'll invite you guys to stay on for the after party. And I would just say thank you, Jann, for connecting us with Gina and Tom, and bringing us wonderful information. It was an area I was not aware of, so we'll help spread the word too. And like you said, writers helping writers. Just real quick, next week we're going to have, our topic's going to be how to make money as a freelancer. So I think that's something we all want to know, which includes Rachel's idea of hurrying up and writing our books so we can get them out there, right? So anyway, I read that in the chat. But please join us next week for next week's Writers Chat. And we thank you. Yeah, Josh says he'll be on early to get on. We'll probably have to go over an hour, so we'll tell him on that. So anyway, so we're going to share some ideas on freelance writing and opportunities for that, so we can make some money this year, so we could buy $45 Christian and connect. So we got to make some money on that way. So we'll see you guys next week on this week's Writers Chat, and those of you that are here, we invite you to stay for the after party. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Jean, who's doing the freelancer?